Thank you for coming back. If you watched our previous video in this series, you've learned that we have diluted our stripper according to the safety data sheet. We've read our personal protection and we've tested our pH. Now, one of the things that we're going to do now is we're actually going to put on our PPE that is appropriate for stripping floors. You notice I have one of my stripping boots on already. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to show you one of the tricks I've learned over 45 years is that I put in a pair of tennis shoes into the stripping boot and have that preset. These are extremely hard to get on and off. So what I'm going to do is take off my street shoe and I'm going to put on my personal protection shoe to keep me safe. Now what we're going to do in our next segment is I'm going to show you how to apply the stripping solution with a flat mop, and I don't use a wringer. Come on back. Okay, I'm glad you're back with me. What I've been doing while you were gone is I've been mopping the stripping solution across the floor using our flat mop system here. And as you can see, what I have is I have total control of my liquid, and as I back up across the floor, I'm not having a slip and fall hazard here because I've got my safety boots on. The other thing is the stripper has been releasing the finish from the floor. And you can see I've got this foam, this stripping solution. I've got it collected and gathered. I'm not slinging it out to the sides of the floor. But the other thing is too with a flat mop is that what I can do is I can come along the edge and I can actually scrub the edge right here with my flat mop, but I don't push my stripping solution over onto the carpet. Very important, whether it's carpet, tiles, or whatever that other floor surface may be, I have more control. And also, if you've noticed, I have about 16 inches of width here to control my stripping solution. Now all the stripper has been worked into the finish, and what I'm going to do next is I'm going to show you that pH thing I was talking about, of how the pH has changed on the floor in the stripper, or has it. Okay, so I'm glad you're still with me. What you've seen is we've worked our stripper solution into the floor, and we've got this puddle of, well, emulsified floor finish. What everybody wants to know, or maybe they don't, they just think they know, is that does the stripper solution quit working after it's been absorbing the floor finish that's on the floor? Well, don't take my word for it, we're going to show you. So I have the same pH chart, litmus paper. We're going to put it in this puddle of stripper solution that's on the floor. I'm going to let it absorb a little bit, take it up. So the question is, has the pH of the stripper changed? Now the only active ingredient in the stripper is going to be the pH. Well, maybe not the only, but it's the main one. So what we're going to see here is the stripper hasn't changed much from where it was. Maybe from an 11 to a 10. But bear in mind, there's a lot of strippers out on the market today that are at 10 pH before you ever put them on the floor. So I just wanted to kind of debunk the myth that just because you put the stripper on the floor and it's absorbed finish doesn't mean it's quit working. The stripper is still active and it's been on the floor for over 30 minutes. So that means I still can use the stripper and get my money's worth out of the product that I purchased. Come on back and we'll start machining the floor. We thank you for staying with me this far, and what we've been doing is running the machine a little bit. I wanted to show you the difference in the machine I'm using today. This is a oscillating machine. It's of a rectangular design. You can see by the platform there that the pad is real close to the floor because of the metal plate that's oscillating underneath this machine. It runs at about 3,200 RPMs. Now, that's a little different than a rotor machine that you may be used to that runs at about 175. The reason we do that is for a couple different reasons. I'm going to show you in a minute as I run the machine. But also, I've selected a difference in pad. Now, my standard High Pro black pad is what we have under the machine. This is what you're going to use in the liquid stripper. If you're top stripping and not using a chemical stripper, you're going to use the thin maroon pad. But if we're just doing daily cleaning, we'll either use a blue or red pad. But for today, we're in the chemical stripping, we're going to use this pad. Now I'm going to show you in just a minute what I've been doing and why I like the square or rectangular style machine to do cleaning around edges and baseboards. been running the oscillating rectangular machine, or square if you want to call it that. But you know, the thing about it is for decades we've been using a rotary machine, and we've got square corners, we've got flat edges. And I want to show you the difference in running one of these versus a rotary machine. Now, if you've ever run that rotary machine, you also know that whenever we go next to something, we've got to either have a skirt around that, or we go and clean up the other area. So I'm going to clean right along this carpet. We're not going to get this over on the carpet. The other thing that people tell me when they're having a square or a rectangular machine is that they say they can't run it in stripper because it gets all over the machine. Now, I've been running over this whole area, and you can see there's nothing on the front of the machine. I'm going to show you a little bit of a trick as to why that happens and how to avoid that. So I'm going to run the machine. I won't talk, but just watch. Now, as I said, one of the things that a lot of people say when they're running a rectangular oscillating machine is that it spits stripper everywhere. Here's the reason why. Because what they're doing is they're running the machine and they're pulling backward on the handle. If you noticed, I always ran the machine forward. If you run the handle backward, in other words, you pull back on the machine, what it does is it spits. Here's a perfect example. You see how you get that spitting? See how it spit all over the machine, and I only went 3 feet.